Our guest in this segment is Cara. She is a Jefferson County Commissioner, also a Rotarian.
Yes.
And as such, there's an exchange student program Rotarians do, Cara.
Yes, yeah, Rotary Youth Exchange. We have 2 exchange students this year in Berkeley and Jefferson County, and it's a year-long school education-based travel abroad opportunity that kids go and come from for a school year in America or abroad. So they spend the entire academic school year learning other cultures, and the goal is peace building to ensure our next generation, has peace throughout the nation. So it's a really good thing.
Cool.
Non-political.
Very nice. What nations are represented in the exchange?
So Rotary is in over 200 countries or territories around the world, and every year the State Department, there's countries that go on and off the list, and so safety is a huge concern. So of course we'd like to have Rotary Youth Exchange in as many countries as possible, but some countries choose not to participate with other countries, and so it really depends. But we have a list of probably 25 countries that kids can go to, but that varies every year. So we have a student right now in Norway from my Rotary Club, and then we have a student here today. She's actually in studio, and she's from Belgium, so she just arrived yesterday.
And she's hanging out with Dylan.
And so shout out to Lucy Gilson. But yeah, she's wonderful. We're really excited about her exchange year.
And her English is wonderful.
It is. Yeah.
Is our war footing with Norway and Belgium something that I've missed? Is this to have peaceful relationships between the different countries is the point. I didn't miss something in the news.
Oh yeah, it is.
We're good.
Yeah.
This was a joke that landed flat.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's really hoping to foster these students are really ambassadors representing their country. So not only do they teach, she's going to teach her culture to us, but we're also going to learn. She's going to learn about our culture, and we're going to learn about her culture. So it goes 2 ways. So the host families are enlightened by her experience and exposure for her culture, and vice versa. So
now, Rob mentioned you were in Rotary. You're actually president of the Shepherdstown Rotary, are you not?
I'm past president, so it's a 1 year. Okay. Yeah, so I just passed the gavel in July 1, and very excited for the next president. He's already doing awesome. So, but I've helped with Rotary Youth Exchange for about a decade. So I've hosted students. I've been the counselor, and Lucia Valentine is actually the counselor this year, and I'm the first host family. So she's stuck with my crazy 4 kids and husband and 2 cats and all the things. So today actually is the first day of school for kids in schools, so in public schools. So my kids, I want to give them a shout out because my 2 oldest are starting their first day of school today.
Oh,
so
well, congratulations.
Yeah. So
very nice.
Yeah, and Lucy will be going to high school today, so we're excited for her too.
You were listening to the interview with Liz Ricketts we did, was it last week, maybe a week before, and requested to be on the program. You had some disagreements with some things that she was saying while she was on the show, and I think she's been on twice, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think one of the important facets that I want to address is what was actually said during a live meeting and when it's recorded, and everyone is welcome to watch it themselves. Our first August meeting, we had interviewed folks on the Jefferson County Development Authority, and one of the things that concerned me when interviewing is she, when asked directly if she had told staff that she wanted to abolish the JCDA, she agreed and said that she had said that. So there's been some breadcrumbs of maybe unprofessional behavior shown towards our staff on Jefferson County Development Authority, and during the interview it was very enlightening as to her belief system with Jefferson County Development Authority. And it does concern me because as a small business owner, it's like me hiring someone that wants to destroy my business. I want to have a development authority that's able to work with our staff in an appropriate manner, our Jefferson County Commission in an appropriate manner, and follow the mission that is JCDA. So, bringing in small and medium businesses, industries that work for Jefferson County. Jefferson County is the highest per capita county in the state. We have something beautiful to offer. We're not Berkeley County. We're different.
Highest per capita what?
Income. Yeah. So in the state. So we have something unique in Jefferson County, but we have a slanted growth with residential development, and we do need to grow our commercial tax base. So that's something that I am very supportive of, and I know it's been talked about a lot on the radio, but this is a direction that I'm comfortable with. I think we've done the right thing, and I think context matters.
Liz Ricketts said during the interview that she had with us the last time, talking about Commission President Pasha Majdi, that Pasha left Vienna, Virginia, and complaining about traffic, the type of businesses, big box stores and all that and whatever, and said that, and now he came here and he wants to bring the same thing from Northern Virginia into West Virginia. What he tried to escape, he's trying now to recruit here. Do you agree with that assessment of the economic development plan for this commission?
Not. Absolutely not. And I thought that was a unprofessional statement by Councilwoman Ricketts towards Pasha. Commissioner Majdi, he was not run out of Vienna. He lost an election when he ran for mayor. He chose to move to Jefferson County and has done a great job at trying to bring additional tourism. He's trying to bring a diverse commercial tax base, but one that's supported by our county residents. So I just find that that statement was unprofessional and unwarranted.
Let's see, who am I thinking of here? One of the commissioners said that it was isolated in terms of the people who protested Rockwool was actually Steve Stollifer, a fairly small group of people. Overall, I guess the people of the county didn't necessarily overwhelmingly object to Rockwool and that type of business coming in. Liz Ricketts maintains that the JCDA she was a part of was trying to reflect the mood of the residents of Jefferson County who didn't want businesses like Rockwool, were protesting the water facility, basically. And that's the reason why the JCDA was not looking to recruit those kinds of businesses, but that the Jefferson County Commission, of which you're a part of, is interested in bringing those kind of businesses into the county. And having seen what happened to the previous Development Authority, included those in charge, who were, lack of a better way of putting it, run out of town, so to speak. She was not interested in going through something like that again with businesses being brought in that the community seemed to object to.
Right. So I think there's some confusion on what the role of JCDA is. JCDA does not decide what can be built here. That's zoning. So Jefferson County has zoning throughout our municipalities and our county. So we have Charlestown has zoning, Ranson has zoning, Harpers Ferry, Bolivar has zoning, and then the county itself has their own zoning ordinance. And so the Jefferson County Development Authority brings folks to the door, and the planning and zoning is what decides what can be built there. So if you have heavy industry, which is what Rockwool is, as an approved use on a site, that is something that could move forward. The direction that I, speaking for myself, want is a diverse commercial tax base that includes light industrial, which is not crushing material but putting things together, biotech, tech industry, professional services, and tourism. So there's government contractors, federal agencies are always great. They're not necessarily a tax base, but they're good paying jobs. So that I don't believe is the direction of our county. But Rockwool, I will say, has they have been approved since I believe 2018. They have been a business here, and I'm not looking at the past. If you wanna fight in the ditch, that's fine. I'm on the road and I'm moving forward. So,
Bill.
Yeah, good morning, Cara. Great to see you today.
Great to see you too.
I get the sense that Jefferson County does not really know what they want. And that's not just today, that's going back several years. There's been more of a divide of the direction of, I think, of any county I'm associated with. I had a good friend who worked, he was representative of the West Virginia Development Authority. And he made a comment, this is a few years ago, so it's not yesterday,
right.
that that the West Virginia Development Authority was confused of what Jefferson County wanted or would put up with. And he mentioned the rock wall, and more recently you had the solar, the water bottling. Pilots are there. At one time, Jefferson County was going to sue the state of West Virginia for allowing pilot programs. So you put these in isolation, they don't mean anything. You put them together, they do mean something.
Right.
And so I do not know what role West Virginia Development Authority is playing now, but I know at one time there was a lot of frustration with Jefferson County, and they were not going to promote Jefferson County. And again, there's other things that you've got to contend with, the infrastructure. Berkeley County is blessed with railroads, highway, and an airport that promotes industry. We also have we worked hard with water, getting water from the Potomac. Jefferson County has not yet have these advantages, and with the water, you are going to do some water survey. I think that's going to be essential. I don't know where you are with this, but I hope it's going to proceed. That's kind of a platform said you got a lot of obstacles ahead of you, and it's one thing for the commission to kind of reverse course in previous commission, say we want to do that. Right now, the only thing you have going for you are the residential.
Right.
And but now you're saying we want to back off from residential, but yet you've approved a 1,500 home in Kearneysville and or development. Maybe not. That may be too much. But
720.
720, but it's a large amount anyway.
Right.
So
which I voted no on.
Okay. So how do you get your arms around this kind of a dichotomy of so many different thoughts and nobody really pulling together but all these different thoughts?
Well, back on JCDA, another breadcrumb from the interview with Ms. Ricketts is she mentioned that in her own words that the JCDA had been floundering, and she had been serving on the JCDA for 2 years, and in her words she said that she was still trying to understand her role. And as Jefferson County Commission, we pay $400,000 a year, as you've heard, to sustain and maintain the Jefferson County Development Authority, which means our tax base is paying for that. And when we don't have a return on investment, I think it's just it's something where we needed to shift the direction of our development authority. And during the interview, this was not something I motioned to do. This was a motion by a fellow commissioner, Mike Mood. But seeing everything transpire after, I do believe we did the right thing. I think we followed protocol and understanding the full context. I'm excited about moving our county forward. We do need to, if you don't meet commercial at the door, you're just going to get more homes. And one of the things that Ranson's done a good job with, the city of Ranson, is they've worked with, along Route 9, you can drive by, they have a new medical facility going in. They have additional businesses being built because they planned appropriately. So along 9, they have businesses, and then behind, residential growth. And that makes sense. But if you don't plan appropriately with your zoning ordinance, you're just going to be left with high-density homes. And right now, our county is growing in a way that is top-heavy with residential development. So we just have to be more strategic. And I think one of the key elements, one of the tools in the toolbox is the Jefferson County Development Authority. We have planning and zoning to safeguard against uses that might not be compatible with our county, but we still have to be confident and have our feet firmly planted in growing our commercial tax base. So,
Mr. Gilstrap.
Yeah, I want to pursue this JCDA thing and Ms. Ricketts' interview specifically. There was an implied subterfuge in her interview last Monday while she was, I think it was Monday, because I know that she was talking to me, that the reason that the JCDA was absolved the way it was fear of the results of some investigating committee that they had put together, and it was going to show hiring practices or so. I quite honestly, I didn't really wrap my head around what she was trying to say. Any comments on that? I
am still confused about that comment. I think the goal may have been to elicit confusion and a side of the story that doesn't exist. I think they created another subcommittee to research the history of their bylaws, to understand their position. That's fine. I had no problem with that. If she wants to research the bylaws, she's still welcome to do that. I have nothing to hide. 3 out of the 5 commissioners are new. I've been on the Jefferson County Commission a little over 6 months now, and so we've done nothing nefarious, but if it takes her 2 years to understand what her role is, with $800,000 on the line, I think what we did made perfect sense. I think we shifted the direction, and we moved our county in a different direction.
It does, as a Berkeley County resident,
Right.
looking at Jefferson County with sort of a scant eye, especially after the events of last year and all the madness
Yeah.
that went around there.
Yeah.
It seemed like sort of there's momentum going, and now there's this. It seems odd that we abolish the JCDA. We don't make surgical changes. It just we abolish it. And if what Liz told us is true, change the number of the members on the JCDA and then change it yet again after the fact. It seems very odd to me. What's going on?
So during our meeting in July, when we voted to reconstitute the JCDA, it was our legal advice to change, because every person on the board had a specific role that the state code doesn't require anymore. So it would have been
Which
actually
board? We're talking the
the
commission or
Jefferson
the-
County Development Authority.
Okay.
And so it actually is better just to reconstitute, because every person had a different role as to what they were doing there, and the state code no longer requires those roles to be. So it was just a smoother, and what we did do was emailed everybody that had been removed that day to reapply, and we did not constitute the interviews the next meeting. We wanted to give everyone ample time to apply and allow for process to be had. So we actually did the interviews a month later at our first August meeting. And I think that was a fair thing. But, we have new commissioners with new perspectives and direction, and it was within our legal authority to change the direction, especially if we have hostile work environments created for our employees at Jefferson County Development Authority.
You've used that phrase a number of times. Expand on that particular phrase, the hostile work environment.
So we've had employees be told that they were not hired correctly and that they need to be re-interviewed after starting their first day working at the Jefferson County Development Authority. We've had redacted.
Who's telling them that?
Ms. Ricketts was the one who, and so that's just one example. There's
To whom do they report?
To the Jefferson County Commission. So the Jefferson County Commission, we have a lined item that pays for the salaries of all our Jefferson County Development Authority staff.
What's the staff? What's the number of staff?
3 people.
3 people. So it's not a huge staff.
It's not a huge, and they are, by having them within the Jefferson County Commission, they have an HR. They have benefits. They have streamlined process that protects them, and I think that's something I care very deeply about. So there's some unprofessional behavior shown, and I think what we did kind of showcased it showed everyone's cards, but we also were able to reappoint 2 previous board members who were great, and we were excited to bring on some folks back and have them reapply. So of the 4 that reapplied, 2 were reappointed back on the Jefferson County Development Authority.
This resonates a little bit with what happened with the Tricia Jackson and
Jennifer Krause.
Jennifer Krause.
The one who thought you were a liberal.
Yeah, that's right. And
Everyone's trying to out-Republican each other.
but with the interpersonal relationships and sort of, are there breadcrumbs, fingerprints on?
Yes, and I think there's.
But whose fingerprints? That's interesting. What you said.
Well, we're talking about
Are you talking about
issues with
Krause?
staff.
You're talking about Krause and Jackson's fingerprints on
Yes.
what happened just
Yes.
recently?
Well, they
Yes.
did appoint Ms. Ricketts to the Jefferson County Development Authority. They were one of the 2 of the 3 that voted to have her be appointed onto the board. I don't know what their relationship is. I can't speak to that. What I don't do is I don't speak to things I don't know and that's not publicly said. So I have no idea. But speaking to civility and professionalism.
30 seconds.
It's very important that we move our county forward and we work together. And what I hope to do is continue collaboration with our municipalities and move our county forward. I'm hopeful with the decisions we made that we have a successful JCDA and we can really improve relations with our county.
Cara Keys, thank you for coming in,
Thank you.
and all the best with the shepherding of the exchange students.
Yeah,
I think
thank
we'll
you.
see you again sometime in the next month
Yes.
regarding that.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cara.
Thank
Good
you.
job.